Hi, Lenny Tech here. Thanks for stopping in. Usually I do my videos, for repairing old radios and amplifiers and things. But tonight I'm doing a tribute video. This is part one of my tribute video to a very dear friend of mine. I'm talking about the legend of the accordion, Dick Contino. That song that I just played on the accordion was Lady of Spain. Dick Contino made that famous 70 years ago in 1947 on the Horace Heights radio show. I met Dick 40 years ago when he came to Chicago and played at the Italian Fest. And that night we became good friends, and we remained friends ever since, till his passing a few weeks ago. Over the years, being involved with the Dick Contino fan club and being involved with the Chicago Accordion Club, I was president of the Chicago Accordion Club for 10 years. I got to meet and know a lot of great accordionists, and knowing Dick Contino was just probably maybe an accordionist's dream. Dick was pretty much in our lives. In fact, if you lived in the Chicago area or the Milwaukee area, even if you didn't play the accordion, if you liked the accordion, Dick Contino was a household word in your house as he was in ours. My dad always had the Dick Contino records on all the time, even before I was born, you know. My dad liked Dick Contino, and so ever since I can remember, always hearing his records. And over the years, I've made a lot of videos of a lot of Dick's shows, and I have a lot of great stuff that you've probably never seen or heard, and I'm going to present them in these videos coming up. This is part one of the videos, so in part two, the second video we're going to have, we're going to go all the way back to 1948 when Dick won on the radio show. He won the grand finals on the Horace Heights radio show. Back then, that was something like a show that we have nowadays called America's Got Talent. Well, back then it was on the radio, and Horace Heights would have contests every week and have different artists on, and they would compete. And in 1947, Dick Contino was introduced to the country, and he by playing his Lady of Spain and winning every week after week, until he became a big following on the radio, a big star, and he didn't even know it. And then in 1948 he won the grand finals, and I have that radio show, and we're going to be listening to it together. So sit back and enjoy, and I'm going to share with you some Dick Contino memorabilia. So let's start right now. Back in 1947, when Dick Contino became famous on the radio, after he won the Grand Champion, he went out on tour with Horace Heights Orchestra, and he started recording for the Horace Heights label. And Dick Contino's first album was this, Horace Heights Presents Dick Contino. It's 78 RPMs, a great album. And then the second album he came out with was the Yellow album, the Italian folk songs. And then after that, the Red album, another Horace Heights Presents Dick Contino album with a lot of great songs on here. such as Caravan, Malagueña, Clarinet Polka, Lover, 12th Street Brag, 2 guitars. And then, after that, came the 45s. In 1948 is when they started making the 45 records, and Horace Heidt also got in on that. And here is a whole stack of Horace Heidt's records on 45 that Dick Contino put out. A lot of great songs on this label. And then, after that, Dick Contino was recording with the RCA label. This is that RCA set that was put out with all the great tunes like Saber Dance and so many great tunes on here. So then, after that, he signed up with the Mercury label. And Mercury Records, boy, look at all these 45s. All on the Mercury label, all Dick Contino records. There's a stack of them, let's see, unbelievable how many of them there are. This stack this high of all of the records that he put out on the Mercury label. I've been collecting these things for years, and just to give you some of the idea of the albums that Dick Contino put out. Here's some of the different albums that Dick Contino put out on the Mercury label. Just so many of them. The let's see, Las Vegas at the Flamingo, Squeeze Me, the Hawaiian album, the Holiday in Rome album, another polka album, In the Mood with Eddie Langton on the organ, South American Holiday, and then he made records for Hamilton and the Dot label, like the Accordion Magic album, Italia, the Contino on Stage. That's when he introduced the Cordavox. The Cordavox was an electronic accordion, and Dick Contino was the one who introduced that. Dick Contino 12 Immortal Songs, Plays and Sings the Hits, Festa, the Twilight Time album, and his last recorded album was Yours, recorded here in Illinois. In the 70s, his career was kind of revitalized in the Chicago and Milwaukee area, because every year Dick would come out and play the festivals in the Italian in the Chicago area, and of course every year at Festa Italiana in Milwaukee. He was out there for, I think his first concert was like in 1976 out there, and all the way till I believe was 2015, I believe, was his last concert out there. I may be wrong about that, but I think it was. So all those years he was there every year at the Italian Fest in Milwaukee. Over the years, belonging to the Dick Contino fan club, started by Orlando Serra and Vera Serra, his wife, it was a great thing. We had a lot of great parties. We had the Dick Contino Christmas party every year. We had backyard parties where the club members would come, and we had great times. And all those great concerts that he put on in the Chicago area and in Milwaukee. So those were great memories for me, all those years going to the club and being a part of all that. So over the years, I have got some great videos of Dick's performances, which I am going to put on for you so you can see these and experience them too. First, I wanted to tell you about his the night that he won the contest. Okay, when my father got out of the war in World War II in 1945, he lived at home with my grandmother and my grandfather for a couple of years, and in 1947 they went to the store and bought this here record player radio console that I have here, and I will show it to you now. Well, here it is, folks. 1947. This is a Motorola console that my grandmother and my grandfather and my dad went and bought in 1947. That's my dad. He was a sergeant in World War II. He was honorably discharged in 1945, and when he came home, he bought this ship here for his mother, my grandmother, and she put it on this console, and it's been here ever since, and she put my dad's picture there. And it was on this radio that my dad first heard Dick and Tino on the Horace Heights radio show in 1947. So let's listen to a little bit of one of Dick's records from that year. Well, I believe this was made in 1948, this record here. Well, folks, it was on that radio that my dad first heard Dick and Tino on the Horse Heights radio show in 1947. This is going to conclude part one of this video, and stay tuned for part two, as we're going to listen right on that radio to the night that Dick and Tino won those the contest of the grand finals on that night in 1948. So come on back and part two, and we'll share that with you. Thank you.